Sports media has officially snapped, and they're putting the blame where it hurts most, straight on Cathy Engelbert's head. Not just her, the entire WNBA machine is under fire. From corrupt leadership to silent enablers, the media's finally exposing the toxic system that's destroying Caitlin Clark's career from the inside. And just when you thought it couldn't get uglier, the Stud Buds All-Star Party explodes in chaos. Haters launch a full-blown attack on Caitlin Clark, but out of nowhere, Sophie Cunningham steps in and shuts it all down in the most savage way possible. Now those haters, banned, silenced, exposed. Stay right here, because what I'm about to reveal next will leave you wondering if the WNBA even deserves to survive.
When the mainstream sports media, particularly one with the kind of ideology behind it as the Washington Post, this is a sports media outlet that is certainly going to be more in line with the old WNBA fandom, which, when this kind of article drops, should worry Cathy Engelbert a great deal. Because now the outlets that have normally shielded the WNBA from, people with common sense, right? Normally, this kind of outlet is ones that love to refer to fans as being toxic or the new fandom, yada, 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 right? They're normally coming after the new fans to this league, not new fans to sports.
Cathy Engelbert just lost the last line of defense she had left, the mainstream media that used to protect her at all costs. The very outlets that once painted all criticism of the WNBA as toxic, misogynistic, or anti-women are now leading the charge, and they're not holding back. The Washington Post, yes, the same platform that once glorified the WNBA's rise, has now flipped the script entirely. Their latest article didn't just criticize officiating, it ripped the league to pieces, calling the WNBA's style of play violent, its officiating disgraceful, and its leadership flat-out incompetent. And here's the scary part. When a media giant like that decides it's done covering for you, it usually means one thing. They know the collapse is coming. Cathy Engelbert's so-called media shield is gone. The woke media that once attacked fans for asking tough questions, now they're asking those questions themselves and demanding answers. The message is clear. This isn't just bad PR. It's a full-blown media betrayal.
But they are not in this case. In this case, they're calling out the WNBA and Cathy Engelbert. Why? Because of the officiating. The WNBA's officially got a real problem. Because one of the institutions that's used to taking care of the league and sheltering the league and worshiping the league's sensibilities, you've lost them. You've lost them. You've lost that support.
The WNBA wants to market itself as the future of women's sports, but right now, it looks more like a combat zone than a basketball league. The violence on that court, it's not incidental, it's constant, and it's being ignored. Forget that silhouette of a player rising for a shot. If we're being honest, the new logo should be Caitlin Clark's purple, bruised arm, because that's what really represents this league now. Blood, bruises, silence. If you think the WNBA has turned into a glorified boxing ring with zero rules and no protection, drop a comment right now. Free Caitlin. Let the league know fans are watching and we're not blind to the abuse. One brutal hit after another, elbows, knees, slaps to the face, and not a single whistle in sight? This isn't basketball anymore. It's organized violence in sneakers where officiating is optional and star players are left to get torn apart while the league watches in silence.
And so now a lot of attention is coming out. I mean, this article is coming out yesterday, heading into All-Star Weekend. And they're calling out the officiating and how bad it is in this league. The WNBA should change its logo to a bruise. That's the first line of this article. Wow. Forget that little silhouette of a woman rising for a shot. Just use Caitlin Clark's arm or leg with a purple discoloration. It's more fitting. Woo-wee. Shots fired. Or Kelsey Plum's or Nafisi Collier's. Also, the league's motto ought to be, quote, no call. The chronically lousy second-rate officiating has led to such a hard play uglification. That's a good word.
Roll the clip. JJ Quinterly comes flying in like she's auditioning for UFC 302. Full force shoulder, Caitlin Clark goes down, crowd gasps, and what do the refs do? Nothing. Not a whistle, not a foul, not even a fake oops reaction.
I mean, let's be real. Perhaps she's out because of the hooking and hammering she took from the Dallas Wings a couple of nights earlier. No call. Either way, she's out for the WNBA All-Star game. Angel Reese, another casualty of this kickboxing league, is uncertain. I didn't know Angel Reese was a maybe not for the game. I didn't even know that. Since the referees can't or won't make the calls, it was left to Rebecca Lobo and her broadcast partner, Ryan Rucco, who called it out themselves on ABC the other night during a replay that showed Dallas Wings guard J.J. Quinterly repeatedly going all karate on Clark with no whistle. Ooh, man. This is embarrassing for the WNBA.
Look at the numbers. Clark leads the league in hits taken without a foul call. Multiple games, dozens of clips, and not one apology, not one ref stepping up to admit they botched. This isn't random. This isn't human error. This is pattern protection failure, and it's being ignored at the highest levels. The WNBA keeps pushing the growing the game narrative. But how do you grow a game when your refs are running it like some underground fight club? If you believe these refs are part of a quiet war against Clark, then go comment rigged league, rigged Rex, because staying silent is what they want.
Quote, there's a grab, there's a hold, there's a grab. I mean, all of those are fouls, and aggravated Lobo said, as Clark simply tried to dribble on the perimeter. Every single one of them. That's a foul. That's a foul. Wow. I did a video and showed that clip. It was brutally embarrassing for the league. The surest way to kill the league's popularity and halt its commercial momentum is to put its stars in ice packs and traction. Absolutely. That is a factual comment. This momentum that Cathy Engelbert has had going in this league came to a crashing and sudden stop. Your most popular player, your biggest draw, the Tom Cruise in his prime, the Harrison Ford in his prime, the Clint Eastwood in his prime, is out for the biggest movie of the year.
Adam Silver, the man who runs the NBA, has been eerily silent. And while he sits comfortably courtside at NBA arenas, his biggest investment in women's basketball is bleeding out right in front of him. The WNBA is spiraling. Refs are reckless. Players are targeting one rookie like it's open season. And what does Silver do? Nothing. Not even a public statement. Not even a tweet. Let's be real. This isn't just negligence, it's coward.
If I'm the NBA and Adam Silver, I'm getting a Zoom call or in person. Every member of leadership, coaches, and general managers across every team and Cathy Engelbert on a Zoom call or in a conference room during the season. They're making that flight out. And I am telling them, you get your shit together or I will find new leaders. I will determine that you guys are incompetent, particularly Cathy Engelbert. I'd be talking to her. But it would be a signal to say, hey, you better have a talk with your players as well.
Now let's talk about the Stud Buds party. What was supposed to be a fun, carefree, all-star hangout turned into a complete disaster. Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham showed up, laughed, danced, and for a moment looked like they were finally just enjoying themselves. But that moment didn't last long, because the second the footage hit the stream, the hate came crashing in. People didn't just criticize, they attacked. The chat filled with racial slurs, viewers called Clark a MAGA Barbie, Sophie was labeled a homewrecker, fans got banned live, and that only made them even more vicious. One by one, they exposed exactly how deep the sickness runs in this league's fan base.
Oh my goodness. Seems some people got their panties in a wad last night. Stud Buds had themselves a little all-star shindig last night. Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham in attendance. Courtney Williams and Natasha Heidemann have this Twitch channel, right? In fact, let's just check in. They got a 72-hour all-star stream going on right now. And there we are right there, just peeking in. We're peeking in at you. That's what's going down right now on the stream.
The Stud Bud stream was supposed to be a celebration. 72 hours of fun, basketball energy, and unity hosted by Courtney Williams and Natasha Heidemann. But instead, it became ground zero for one of the ugliest fan meltdowns we've seen all season. The Twitch stream kicked off like any other. Music playing, fans tuning in, good vibes everywhere. Players were laughing, dancing, and letting loose in the middle of a long, brutal season. Sophie Cunningham, she showed up glowing, smiling, just having a good time. Caitlin Clark, right there with her. No drama, no controversy, just joy. But that's when the problem started. The moment Caitlin and Sophie appeared on stream, you could feel the shift. The energy online turned dark, fast.
Sophie Cunningham was in attendance at the party last night. And let's check this picture out right here. Courtney, Natasha, Sophie Cunningham Studbuds on Sophie Cunningham, quote, anyone who have anything negative to say about Sophie, ban them. Ban them. They're not welcome on the stream. It ain't nothing but love. I got a lot of respect for that.
As soon as Sophie Cunningham showed up on camera, dancing, smiling, vibing, the trolls crept in. And the Studbuds, they didn't flinch. They didn't ask questions. They didn't make excuses. They made one thing clear. If you got something negative to say about Sophie, you're banned. Not muted, not warned. Banned. It ain't nothing but love. They're not welcome here. That's what they said, and they meant every word. Courtney and Natasha didn't just protect Sophie, they put a wall up against the mob. And you'd think fans would respect that, but instead, they lost their minds. They called Sophie a homewrecker.
All right, here's Sophie, here's Caitlin Clark right here. Last night, of course, from the party, the stream going down. Unless I'm going nuts, that looks like Aaliyah Boston right there. Whoa, wait a minute now. Was that Kate Martin? That is Kate Martin right there to the left. It's funny. If Caitlin Clark was welcome in this league, the way these two young ladies welcomed her at this party, and Sophie for that matter, I got to tell you, I think Caitlin Clark will be playing tonight, or in the three-point contest tonight.
Caitlin Clark, the so-called WNBA savior, smiling, relaxed, finally not being shoved to the ground or screamed at for no reason. She showed up at the Studbuds party like any other player. She laughed, she danced, she even told everyone she watches their stream, showing respect, showing connection. But guess what? That was enough to light the fuse. Because the moment Caitlin appeared on stream, the fanbase that claims to care about unity and equality started spitting venom.
There were some upset folks in these responses that fully exposed many in the WNBA fandom. Wow, many of you commenting on this would be banned by Studbuds. Let that sink in. Some of you just need to do better. A lot of love thrown at Courtney and Natasha because of the stance that they took. But look at this. Look at this. They've lost me. Oh, yeah, mad. Okay. Too bad. Good job protecting the MAGA pig. She be hooping low-key. Unbelievable. Black racists are upset at Studbuds for being kind to a white woman. This is the WNBA fan base. Yeah, it's wild. It really is wild.
And then the mask came off. The WNBA fans, or at least the loudest, most toxic ones, revealed exactly who they are. Because instead of enjoying the good vibes, they turned full psycho over two women being treated with basic respect. The Studbuds stream chat flooded with hate. Twitter, a war zone. These weren't just angry fans. These were bitter, obsessed keyboard mobs foaming at the mouth because Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham were shown love. Let's break down what they actually said. Good job protecting the MAGA pig. She be hooping low-key, but she's still MAGA Barbie. Black racists are mad she was invited. Guess I'm banned for calling her out. Good. There goes half the viewers, including me. It got worse. One user literally bragged about being banned from the chat as if that was some kind of moral badge. Another said, Studbuds lost me the moment they welcomed that white girl. Yes, that's where we are. You get canceled now for smiling, dancing, and not being the right kind of political. The streamers were accused of pandering, selling out, even betraying the culture, all because they refused to tolerate hate. And the most disturbing part? This wasn't a few random trolls. This was a wave of WNBA supporters exposing what many have tried to deny. This league has a hate problem, and Caitlin Clark, she's become the punching bag for all of it.